Okay, you've got to see a euphemism when it's a euphemism. The Egyptians urged the people on, impatient to have them leave the country, for they said, "We shall all be dead." So the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading bowls wrapped in their cloaks upon their shoulders. The Levites had done Moses' bidding and borrowed from the Egyptians objects of silver and gold and clothing. And, and the Lord had disposed the Egyptians favorably toward the people, and they let them have their requests. Thus they stripped the Egyptians. I think if anybody goes into a country and kills every firstborn with their army and says, "Give us your silver and gold and we go away," well, that's pretty well clear. I mean, it's called plundering, it's called genocide, it's called murder. And why we make a festival out of this, why it's turned into a sacred holiday, is because we are fucking insane. And there's no other excuse for it. We are fucking insane. If we think murdering the firstborn of a nation is reason to celebrate and make praises to God, and it wasn't even God, it doesn't even say God in this chapter, it says the Lord, and the Lord was Moses. The Lord Moses was bloody well insane. He was insane because he was an inbred son and grandson of the Pharaoh, and he was completely and utterly upset with his father, obviously. If you read Exodus, you will see that he did not like the Pharaoh one bit, and was prepared to check out all kinds of tyranny, terror, and then of course the last terror bit was the big murder scene. And then the Israelites journeyed from Ramses to Sukkoth, about 600,000 men on foot, aside from children, and they don't mention women, of course. Moreover, a mixed multitude went up with them, and very much livestock, both flocks and herds. So at this point it gets completely and utterly out of proportion, because 600,000 soldiers, they would have all had wives, and because you weren't allowed to be homosexual back then. Although in Egypt you might have got away with it, but I don't think so. I think that's a fairly recent advancement in our civilization, that you can choose who you want to have sex with. I mean, back when there were 17 people on the planet, it would have made sense not to be homosexual, but now that there's 7 billion, it certainly does not matter. And anyhow, that's not the point. The point is 600,000 soldiers were following Moses, and their wives were there, even though they're not mentioned. They are there, the women. So let's double that and say 1.2 million, and then the kids, let's say they only had 2 kids each. So we got quick do the math. We've got at least 3 million people, and probably 4 million because the mob's with them as well, and they've all got their children. So we've got anywhere from 4 to 6 million people with the animals, and the animals are probably somewhere between 4 and 20 million, all marching out of Egypt. Well, there should be some kind of evidence for this, and there isn't. So this is a story which makes it just mockery and hateful mockery towards Egyptians, and hateful mockery towards anybody that is a Gentile more than anything. Although eventually they allowed the Paulus to make a religion out of Jesus Christ, who was flaming furiously mad at Moses. He said, up until I came along, the Moses laws are okay, but now that, well, actually said that John the Baptist is here, the laws of Moses are over. And we didn't listen to him, of course. Nobody has ever listened to Jesus, especially Christians. Christians don't know anything about Jesus. They think that the Old Testament is part of the New Testament, and that Jesus was just there to update it a little bit. But no, he was there to say Moses was a tyrannical, thieving prick, and he is all about murder, and we need to do something different besides murder and ignoring women. I mean, it doesn't even mention women, so women are actually less important than their livestock. And if you think there's anything not wrong with this, then you have serious brain damage.